Okay, so today, let's do a deep dive into something that I think is really interesting, and that is Perth's academic scene.
Okay.
Um, and we talk a lot about, different places all over the world that are really exciting to
Yeah.
be in academia, and today we're going to be talking about Perth.
Sounds good.
And, when you think about Australia,
Mm.
I think a lot of people think about Sydney,
Uh-huh.
Melbourne, maybe Brisbane,
Right.
but Perth, I think, is a little bit overlooked.
Yeah, it's kind of a hidden gem.
It is. And we have this article here that really kind of lays out why that is.
Okay.
It's really interesting because they point out that Perth is home to some of Australia's most respected universities and research institutions.
Yeah, and that right away, that really jumps out at me
Yeah.
because it's not just saying, oh, there are universities in Perth. It's saying it's a hub. Like, this
Yeah.
is a place where serious academic work is being done.
Right. So what makes a city a hub and not just a place with a couple of universities?
Well, a real hub, it has this energy about it.
Yeah.
You can just feel it. It's like this critical mass of talent and resources.
Yeah.
And it's the government, investing in research. It's the universities themselves attracting top faculty, building world-class facilities.
Hmm.
And it's also this, kind of culture that values education, intellectual pursuits.
Right.
It all comes together, to create this really stimulating environment.
Yeah. Well, and they specifically mention the University of Western Australia and Curtin University,
Yeah.
two of, I guess, the leading universities, and they talk about diverse roles being available.
Mhm.
But diverse is kind of a broad term.
Right.
So what kinds of jobs are we talking about?
So diverse in this case, I mean, it's not just about like, you're a historian or you're a physicist. It's
Right.
about like you could find yourself teaching, you could be involved in cutting edge research.
Right.
There might be administrative positions. There's all sorts of stuff, depending on your interests and skill set.
Right. And so when we're talking about research, the article really emphasizes this idea of Perth being a place with quote unquote research excellence.
Right.
But a lot of places say that.
Yeah, I mean, everybody wants to say that, right?
So what's the proof? Like what makes it real?
Well, it's not just about doing research. It's about the impact of that research.
Yeah.
Like, is it actually, pushing the boundaries of knowledge?
Yeah.
Is it being recognized internationally?
Hmm.
And, in Perth's case, they actually have the goods to back it up.
So like what kind of stuff?
Well, for example, the University of Western Australia, they're doing some amazing work on radio astronomy.
Okay.
They're part of this thing called the Square Kilometer Array, which is this massive, massive international project.
Wow.
And it's basically this giant radio telescope. And that's the kind of stuff that really puts a place on the map scientifically. It's not just, doing research in a vacuum.
Right.
It's really contributing to this global effort to understand, the universe.
So if you were just starting out in your academic career,
Yeah.
what kind of research in Perth would you be excited about?
That's a good question. There's a lot going on. But I think, personally, I would be drawn to the marine science stuff.
Oh, yeah?
Because you've got UWA, the University of Western Australia. They have a fantastic oceanography institute.
Mm-hmm.
And Perth is right on the coast, so you've got this amazing natural laboratory right there.
Yeah, just right outside your door.
Yeah, it's amazing.
So the article doesn't just talk about the work, though. It also talks about the lifestyle.
Yeah.
And they emphasize, competitive salaries, great work-life balance, and a supportive academic community.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it sounds almost too good to be true.
Right. It's like, is this real?
Right.
But it's Australia. They do actually have a strong emphasis on work-life balance.
Right.
And in terms of salaries, they are competitive, especially in fields where there's a lot of demand.
Mm.
And as for the community, yeah, I've heard from people who've worked in Perth that it's very welcoming,
Okay.
especially for people coming in from overseas.
Yeah.
So it seems like a really good place to kind of land and get settled.
Yeah. So it's not just about the universities. It's really about the whole city.
Exactly.
Like, what is there to do in Perth?
Oh my gosh, so much. I mean, first of all, you're right on the Indian Ocean.
Yeah.
So there's beaches, water sports, all that good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But then you've also got a really great food scene.
Right.
The arts are thriving. It's got this kind of laid back vibe, but it's
Yeah.
also very, very vibrant.
Okay.
So I think, it's one of those places where you can really work hard and play hard.
So wrapping it all up, Perth,
Mm-hmm.
it's more than just kangaroos and sunshine.
It's so much more.
It sounds like there's this whole academic ecosystem that is really thriving.
Totally. And I think what's really cool about it is it's kind of where ambition meets lifestyle.
Right.
Like, they're serious about research, they're serious about teaching, they're connected to the global academic community, but they also know how to, like, enjoy life.
Yeah.
And I think that's really attractive for a lot of people.
I agree. And if all of this has got you thinking about maybe checking out some university jobs in Perth, you know where to go.
Yeah.
academicjobs.com.
Yes.
They've got listings for Perth universities, Western Australia more broadly, and all over Australia.
That's right.
So, yeah, check it out. Maybe Perth is the place for you.
Maybe it is.
Might be time to see what's out there.
Absolutely.